We've seen the construction of the Northern Divisional Police Headquarters. We've seen the construction of the Miku Jetty. We've seen a lot of leaps and bounds taken in the Ministry of Agriculture. We've seen facilities fees being paid for every student attending secondary school. We've seen a return of the subvention to National Trust. We've seen a return of the distress fund. We've seen a return of the police vote. We've seen so many vehicles unparalleled in nature being given to the police in our effort to fight crime. We've seen the reconstruction of custody suites, which was demolished by the last administration without any iota of justification. I could go on and on, but trust me, this interview is too short for me to really list out all the benefits of having this SLP government in office, led by the man who takes and has the people's interests at heart, the man Philip Joseph Pierre.
Coming to you, as always, facing the December 1st election. We are here tonight to give you all the reasons why you should re-elect Frederick in the next general elections. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, before we begin, we invoke the presence of the Lord, and to do so, we call on Merlin Samuel.
Thank you very much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters of labor, good night. As always, without the presence of the Lord, we cannot do anything. So let us stand and let us pray. We start this meeting by asking you your abundance of blessings, dear Lord. We know that you love to bless your children and that Jesus Christ has secured all of our blessings for us. We boldly ask that you would pour out your richest blessings on this meeting. May our decisions be wise. May our interactions be sweet. May your presence be felt in our midst. In your word, you have promised that the blessing of the Lord makes us rich, and he adds no sorrow with it. We ask that you bless each person present with your grace, wisdom, and favor. Thank you for being a God who always generous and loving. Thank you for blessing us in ways we cannot even imagine. We ask all of these mercies through our Son, your Lord, our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, who reigns forever and ever. And the people of God say, amen. On behalf of my...
Ladies and gentlemen of Bois Patat, supporters of Richard Frederick, supporters of the St. Lucia Labour Party, I bid you a good night. As we face the next elections, December 1st, only 7 days away, I say to you on that day, do not hesitate to go out and re-elect Richard Frederick as your representative for Castries Central. For the past 4 years, as of before, he has shown you that he is a good representative. He has done for you what no other representative has done in Castries Central. He and he alone has made the miracles in Castries Central. Right here in ROSEHILL, you know of the things that he has done. He may not have given everybody work, but he certainly has touched most lives in ROSEHILL, in and around ROSEHILL. And I say to you, at the December 1st elections, go out and re-elect Richard Frederick with the Honorable Philip J. Pierre, a man who puts people first, who promised to put people first, and at every turn he has done so. So on December 1st, I beg you, go out and vote for Richard Frederick, Philip J. Pierre, and the St. Lucia Labour Party. As we move on, ladies and gentlemen, I bring you our first speaker, Comrade Pell. Most of you in this area would know him as he also grew up in the Mondidor area. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Brother Pell.
Good night, my sisters and my brothers of ROSEHILL and surrounding areas. My brothers and my sisters, it gives me great pleasure to stand on the platform of the great Richard Frederick here tonight. I call him the great Richard Frederick because it is only once in a while in our lifetimes that we have the opportunity to have someone like Richard Frederick as our parliamentary representative. And whether you like Richard or not, there is one thing you have to give him. Like we say, give Jack his jacket. Richard performs. Richard is a worker. And so today, I was in library talking with a young man, and the name Richard Frederick came up. He's a flabo. And he says he doesn't like Richard personally, but he has to admit that Richard is one of the hardest working representatives he's ever seen. And that's coming from a flabo. If a flabo can admit that Richard is a hard worker who produces for the people of his constituency and for St. Lucia by extension, if a flabo can say that, why should we as Laborites and as patriots in our country not embrace Richard? Politics is not about liking people. Politics is about serving your country. Political parties are not families. Political parties are associations where men and women get together to develop their country. And Richard Frederick, who was not always my friend politically, I now love him so much as a representative because he's a man of his word. And more than just being a man of his word, he's a loving man, he's a kind man, and he's a generous man. And I know so much about Richard Frederick. He himself doesn't know what I know. Richard goes out of his way to help people not only with government resources, but with his own personal resources. And you have to respect a man like that. You have to respect a brother like Richard Frederick. And that's why I am on his platform every night if I can get a chance. And Richard Frederick belongs to a government that puts people first. Did you all see the way the children behaved in so many schools around the country on nomination day? In the Bible, there is a phrase that says, from the mouths of babes, we will get wisdom. Because the beautiful thing about children is, children are innocent. Children's minds are not messed up like our minds. Because from the time you turn 15, 16, and you're into your 20s, your mind is already messed up with a lot of things you learn, by the way. But children are innocent. And if you want honesty, and you want dignity, and you want love, talk to a child. Because a child is not into all the pappy show that big men and women are into. And so when the children on nomination day in so many schools around the country began to say SLP, 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 it is because the children are feeling things that some of us, with our brainwashing, we cannot understand. And when the children behave the way they behaved on nomination day, it is a sign. It is a sign, my sisters and my brothers, that you have to bring a man like Richard Frederick back into the Parliament of St. Lucia. Because the children, being innocent and being honest and having no malice, they tell you what's really going on. And it is my view that we will never forget what we saw on nomination day with the way our children behaved. Let us take guidance from our children. Our children were telling us, not in our words, but in their words, that we have to bring a man like Richard Frederick back into the Parliament of St. Lucia. And of course, it has to be in a Labour Party government, because the only government that has ever put people first in the history of our country is a Labour Party government. Can you imagine a government that's paying 4 CXCs for our children? Let me share a little story with you. Why we must bring Richard Frederick back. Because Richard Frederick belongs to a cabinet of ministers that's paying CXCs for children. Let me tell you a story in my own personal life. I was a little boy on Jeremy Street. In fact, my brother is here tonight, so my brother knows what I'm talking about. I studied at the SDA Academy. And one of the hardest days of my life in Form 5 at the academy was when I had to go and tell my mother, Mommy, I'm going to be sitting 11 GCE subjects. In those days, we called it GCE, General Certificate of Education. You did your GCE in secondary school in Form 5, either with London University or Cambridge University. I studied very hard because I was a man, I was a boy, I used to like my books. I really studied. I picked those books a lot at Central Library my whole life. While little boys and girls were playing marbles around Castries, I was beating books at Central Library. And the hardest day of my life in Form 5 was when I had to tell my mother, Mommy, I need money to pay for 11 GCs because I was going to be doing 11 GCs in Form 5. It was really hard to do. Today's children don't have those worries because they know that the government of the St. Lucia Labour Party, the government that Richard is a part of, they are paying CXCs for our youth. Put your hands together for Richard Frederick and the government of the St. Lucia Labour Party. And we must not forget that on the other side is the United Workers' Party, a party of men of pure evil. They have no heart. Because I will never forget until the day I die, when Philip J. Pierre's government, with Richard Frederick as a member of the cabinet, brought the matter of young ladies who need sanitary napkins. Because the facts show that hundreds of our young girls miss school on a regular basis when they get their period. And they have to go home because they don't have sanitary napkins. And the Philip J. Pierre government, of which Richard Frederick is a member of the cabinet, decided to provide sanitary napkins for our young girls. Do you remember how Guy Joseph misbehaved? Le Guy Cancer, a quiz poor guy. The man was so angry. He took it so personally, you would swear that guy had a problem with young women. Can you imagine a man who is a St. Lucian having such a fundamental problem with the fact that a governing administration has decided to provide sanitary napkins for our young women? To me, it is one of the most decent things that the SLP government has ever done. Provide sanitary napkins for our young girls. A Guy Joseph Tefache. A book di pasavayish. Nani bomade guy sisavwe. But can you imagine? You upset that a government is giving sanitary napkins free from the taxpayers to our young girls, our young sisters and brothers. You vex about that? Isn't that pure evil, my sisters and my brothers? Richard Frederick belongs to the government that decided that we are going to give free sanitary napkins to our young ladies so they don't have to miss their classes on those days. My brothers and sisters, put your hands together for Richard Frederick and for the St. Lucia Labour Party government. And I'm a Castries boy, Castries Central boy. I grew up as a little boy in Jeremy Street. I grew up as a little boy. In fact, I was born in Bakafai. Sometimes I tell people I was born in New Village because I love New Village so much. New Village was a place where I ran around as a little boy. Jeremy Street, Chaussee Road, New Village, Leslie Land. When I say my Castries. And I have never seen the Chaussee Road so beautiful in my whole life. I have never seen Chaussee Road so beautiful. Do you know why Chaussee Road looks so good? Because of a man called Richard Frederick. A serious man. And when they were repairing the Chaussee Road, Richard made it his business to talk to Wasco and talk to Lucilette and to organize with them so that they would not be doing little pash thing here and little pash thing here. He made them organize together so that by the time they fix the road will be properly done. It is a pleasure to walk on Chaussee Road today. This is national development. Now, some people tell you that when a government builds a road, you should not sing their praises. Papi shoyo kapale. Because there are governments who do nothing about the roads. Because we were in opposition and the madman called Alan Shastner was prime minister. And this man neglected this country like crazy. While he was giving hundreds of millions of our taxpayers' money to foreigners and friends, he neglected the road infrastructure. And today, it is people like Richard Frederick and the St. Lucia Labour Party cabinet that is putting our roads in order. And so we need to put our hands together for Richard Frederick, for the Chaussee Road, and for his other infrastructural works in Castries. I am very happy every time I walk down Jeremy Street and I walk up Darling Road. It is beautiful what Richard Frederick has done with our infrastructure in those places. He has taken people from selling on the sidewalks like the way the Alan Shaster's favorite word, mendicants. He has taken people from that situation and given them proper places where they can sell, they do the vending. Richard Frederick is doing stuff in Castries Central that has never been done in the history of Castries Central. As a little boy, I knew someone called George Mallet, who was the parliamentary rep for Castries Central for many, many years. George Mallet did nothing for Castries Central. Today, when you see what Richard is doing, you know that you have a serious man in town. A serious man in town. Now, we are going to elections and they're playing all kinds of tricks, playing all kinds of games to win the elections. But the people of St. Lucia are not going back to bullshit. The people of St. Lucia are tired of the BS. And they will bring Richard Frederick back into the parliament. And so my sisters and my brothers, you have to be part of that movement. That even the little children are telling us that we have to be part of. The little children in the schools on nomination day who naturally stood up and said, Richard Frederick, SLP, SLP. And so my sisters and my brothers, we are not going back to the BS that we inherited from Alan Shastner. And let me say one last thing about my brother Richard Frederick. He belongs to a cabinet of ministers that for the last 4 years has secured what we call economic growth. In 2024, St. Lucia recorded economic growth of 8.1%. Do you know that we have never seen economic growth at such a level in the history of our country? Richard Frederick was a member of the cabinet that did that. And for that, you also have a duty to bring the brother back into Parliament on 1st December. Put your hands together for Richard Frederick and put your hands together for the St. Lucia Labour Party. I have to go to Balata now to speak with my sisters and my brothers in Balata, so I will not take much more time. Thank you, my sisters and my brothers, and have a good night tonight.
Thank you, Comrade Pell. Thank you very much. And we know you'll come again. Ladies and gentlemen of Wapatat, of ROSEHILL, as we continue, I want to remind you that December 1st is only 7 days away. I want you to ensure that you have your ID cards ready, that your name is on the voters list. And if perchance you have neither, you should either go to the electoral office or come to our office on Chisel Street. I know most of you know where that is. You should do that early enough because on election day, you don't want to be left out. Let me say, however, that if you are holding an ID card and your name does not appear on the list, you are still eligible to vote. And if you come to us on that day, we will find a way to get you to vote because the law says that you are registered to vote, and it may be some little error that your name did not appear on the list. So we will ensure that you vote on that day. If your name appears on the voters list, but you are not holding an ID card, any other form of ID is good. If you still do not have any form of ID, you may use somebody to identify you. However, the electoral departments have what they call the MasterCard. So when they find your name on the list, they will go through the MasterCard and they will find that card of yours and identify you through that. So either ways, you will be eligible to vote as long as you are registered and you are holding an ID card. So do not hesitate. On December the 1st, go out to the poll in large numbers. Go out early. And when you are going, take someone with you. Your grandmother, your grandfather, your great aunt, anybody who, especially the elderly, who may not be able to go. We will, from our office, provide transportation. So please contact us early to do so. As we move along, ladies and gentlemen, I bring you a young man from this area. I think he was born and raised in this area, and he would like to say something. I present to you Jonathan.
Oh, I lift up my hands to the Father, I lift up, cause he made me strong. He put the food on my table, yes, and in my heart his song. Oh, Jah, I love you so.
Mama Rosie, let me hear you. Sing, play, play.
Jah, I need you so.
The mood is red. Let's go. Hallelujah.
Praise his name, hallelujah.
Thank you, Mr. DJ. Yeah. Want to say good night to everyone, ROSEHILL. The Moody's. That's why we're going to keep them out. I'm not into politics, but I'd like to just go down into a little background of Mr. Frederick, how he came about. I'll make it short too. Mr. Frederick used to come around 1980 thereabout with his Tacoma driving while we cooling out right there on the block, driving on us, you know, in the bright light we run, and always come around in the neighborhood counseling the young guys. Sometimes he'll be coming around, but yeah, I'm a little nervous. I don't even know. Somebody give me a round of applause. Help me out. Yeah. Because Mr. Frederick is not just a yesterday guy or a last week guy. Mr. Frederick is actually a foundation guy raised not too far to the back of the community center. And he have always been a part of ROSEHILL, no matter his stage of life he become. And I would like to tell you guys a story that I personally had with Mr. Frederick when I was a young man and I bought my first weed eater. Walking up Endripo, a van stop, offered me a ride. When I look, I see he was not Mr. Frederick or the Honorable Frederick at that time. He was Fredo. I said, boss, Fredo. He wasn't even boss. He was Fredo. He told me, Jonathan, where you going? I said, boss, a little work I going on to up there. The boss stopped. He told me, let's go. He went out of his way and dropped me to my location. Then he come, he give me, and he tell me, you have gas? Look. So I said, boss man, will you bring me and buy the gas? Uko power zone. I give you a right there already and you want to go back again? But you know the boss. You understand? Mr. Frederick and I had, you know, our down. We never had downfall, but anytime I come to him wrong, he will put me in my place. And that's just the boss. Yeah. You know, I don't know about people. I just speaking off my heart. And sorry, you know, but Mr. Frederick is not a yesterday man, like I said. And the day of inauguration day, the way I saw Stanley treated the red wave, he tried to part that Red Sea, and he could not. So you know what he do? He start to push. But Mr. Stanley, you didn't know when you came to Rosehill, it was Mr. Frederick that gave you the welcome. Mr. Frederick that called us and say, welcome him, guys. Welcome him. And you made a move, and you're just jealous of Mr. Frederick. And you have always been complaining and complaining why you guys like him. Why you want to know why you like him? Because he's an honorable man. He's a loving man and a caring man. You understand? I don't know much about politics, but I could tell you about Mr. Frederick. And Mr. Frederick is one of the most loving guys you will ever come across. You understand? Plenty have come. Mr. Pell, like Mr. Pell said, he have come. He have talked against Mr. Frederick. Today, Mr. Pell is on the Frederick train. So don't mind them when they come. When you come for Mr. Frederick, don't come with a spoon. Come with a big axe. That's one tree. Not anybody could come and uproot. And on behalf of Rosehill, I would like to say, welcome, Mr. Frederick. Somebody help me. 5 again. 5 again. And 5 again. Thank you.
Praise his name. Hallelujah. Highest praise. Hallelujah. Every night and day. Hallelujah.
Wow, thank you very much, Jonathan. I didn't know you were that good. But when he asked to say something, I had to oblige, but I didn't know Jonathan was that good. Young people of Rosehill, listen to Jonathan, because he knows what he's talking about. He knows the kind of person Richard Frederick is. And when you see the sour orange and the bitter orange coming, don't make them fool you. Don't let them fool you. You know where you are headed. You know what it has been like for the past 4 years. Under the leadership of Philip J. Pierre, it has been nothing but good governance. Philip J. Pierre at every turn has put people first, and he will continue to put people first. Let us stick with them. Let us stick with the St. Lucia Labour Party, with the Honorable Philip J. Pierre at the head, and Richard Frederick in his cabinet. As we move along, ladies and gentlemen, before I call her on, let me first welcome her to Rosehill. Although she tells me she knows Rosehill very well because she has property here, so I guess she would know there very well. But I will still welcome her. The Honorable Virginia Albert. She's here on behalf of Richard tonight to endorse him as the next representative to be re-elected to Castries Central. I present to you the Honorable Virginia Albert, ladies and gentlemen.
I see them coming after my soul, wanting to take control. Wanna give me locks, wanna give me bling, wanna give me all the material things. I am talking about what the world has to offer. Girl, what you doing, don't you see? What they have done to Bedouin and Marcus, Jesus and all of the prophets. But I'm not afraid.
Good night, the people of Rosehill. As Angel said earlier, Rosehill is not a strange place for me, because just in the street over there, my grandfather had property right there. And when I used to go to Teachers College in the 1970s, that's where I used to stay, to go to Sir Arthur Lewis Community College. So the young people who live in Rosehill, I live in Rosehill long before you. But tonight, I am here to give support to a man that you know very well. I call him RF because I don't like the long word Richard Frederick. That's taking too much time. But he is my colleague minister, and I had the pleasure in working with him for the last 4 years and a few months. And before I became a cabinet member or politician, I used to hear about Richard, I used to see Richard. But I got an opportunity to work with Richard. And I can tell you, you need to put your hands together to say to you that you have a caring representative. You have a man who loves people. And he is very concerned about the welfare of the people that he represents and the other people in St. Lucia. Richard, as the parliamentary rep for Castries Central, he has the most challenging constituency. I'll tell you why Castries Central is most challenging. Everybody all over St. Lucia come to Castries. And Richard has to ensure that Castries is in order for them. They come from Viewfort, from Roseshill, from Labrie, Dennery, Babono, Grosile. Everybody comes to that boiling pot called Castries. And Castries has been established for many, many, many years. And for you to say you are going to make changes in Castries is going to be a huge challenge for you, because people like to see the things the same way that it has been. But I want you to put your hands together that you have a bold parliamentary rep. He is brave and he will take his chances to make things better for you. And when you drive through Castries these days, Castries start looking better. Castries start looking more beautiful. And if he had all the money that the Prime Minister could give him, you would walk on carpet in Castries. Castries would be beautiful. So I want to let you know that I got to know something special about Richard. And he's not there this evening. Sometimes I told him I'm coming here, so he might very well be following on his live. When I fell sick sometime last year, and I was rushed to Martinique, somebody told me that after I fell sick, Richard cried. And you would not believe that. And people think men are so strong and everything, you know. And that gentleman cried when he heard I fell sick. And this is why tonight, when I came here, I was hoping to get the song Buried Alive. I got to love this song because it is Richard's song. And while I was sick in Martinique, that was the only song I was listening to. That was the only song that I was listening to. And when I recovered, I made my first public appearance on Richard's show, Can I Help You? And Timothy Poleo was spreading rumors saying how government paid all my medical bills. And Richard took on Timothy Poleo and he blessed him. Tonight, I'm here to give all my support to Richard Frederick. I'm calling on the people in Castries Central, the people in Rosehill, to turn out in large numbers on the 1st of December and put Richard Frederick back in the house to represent you. Richard is not going back in the house in a rush. He is not going back in a rush. He's taking his time to get back in the house. He has been independent. He has been independent. And now I'm hearing there are more people who want to be independent. Well, I don't know if they were dependent, but Richard has been independent. He can stand on his feet and he can help others. And that's why he called his show, Can I Help You? Yes, boss. When Richard brought the idea of the baton relay, that is one of the biggest creative concepts we have seen in St. Lucia. Put your hands together for baton relay. And we have the boss lady. I see the boss lady for baton relay right here. Madam Steel. Madam Steel is made out of steel. As a strong woman. I told Richard, we needed to have a progress relay before the election. If we had a progress relay, you would have seen all the things that this government has done all over St. Lucia in every single constituency. However, the Prime Minister has prepared a booklet. Take it as your Bible so that you can see the number of things that this government has done for you, the people of Rosehill and the people in St. Lucia. Richard is the Minister of Housing and Local Government. But I can tell you, in Babono, through the Ministry of Housing, we were able to repair the homes of over 200 houses in Babono through the Ministry of Housing. We built about 13 houses for people. Babono people, there were so many houses that needed repair. Galvanized, you could see the sky. Floors are falling apart. And through the housing project, we were able to help so many people improve their homes. And I know Richard is doing the same. But Castries has a lot more persons living close by. It will take a little while before he finishes, but he has started. Put your hands together for your Minister of Housing and Local Government. As local government minister, he has started taking care of Castries. I know the vendors, some of them are saying it's not this, it's not that. But he wants to make the city look better. And I want the vendors to cooperate with a man with a big idea. A man who is looking out for the future and to make things better for them. We have to change things for the better. I want you to understand that Richard was not just a minister for housing and local government. In cabinet, his experience in law was very useful in guiding the cabinet of ministers so that we do things right. We stay according to the law. And Richard was always giving his opinion, his legal opinion, to guide the cabinet on a number of decisions we had to take to make St. Lucia a better place for all of you. We know change is not easy. Some of it cannot happen fast. Some of it cannot happen in a rush. I hear some people talking about rush. We have to take time for us to see proper change. I want you to give all your support to Richard Frederick, a man who cares about people, a man who is concerned about people, a man who will go all out to make life better for the people that he represents. And he does not only do things for his constituents. People from all over the island come to Richard for help. Sometimes he tells me, Virginia, you know I have somebody from Babono who came to us for this. Do you know that person? Should I help the person? I have to go and do background check and tell him, okay, give that person help. So he is a kind gentleman. He is a caring gentleman. And it is because of this, I want you to continue to place your confidence in Richard Frederick. You have seen this government under Philip J. Pierre. We have taken that country from a deep hole. And he has grown the economy. He has created employment for thousands of people. Just a few weeks ago and last week, we made over 1,000 persons who work for government permanent. These people have secure jobs. We were able to get minimum wage for people where they pay them the right salary. We were able to make all the caregivers permanent. They have a secure job and they will not have a month break where they don't get paid. They will get paid for all 12 months of the year. We have teachers who are temporary. In the month of August, they were not getting paid. This government under Philip J. Pierre started in August paying the teachers their salaries. That's the time they need the money to prepare themselves to go to school. This is a government that cares about people. We have early childhood, preschool. The government is helping, whether it's private or government preschool. And in the next administration, when the St. Lucia Labour Party, you, the people of Rosehill, the people of Castries Central, the people in St. Lucia, re-elect the St. Lucia Labour Party, we will have universal early childhood education. Everybody will be able to send their children to early childhood school, not because some people cannot afford, therefore their children do not get that chance. The Prime Minister said, no, every single child must get an opportunity for early childhood. We have the laptop program. We have CXC. There are so many things that this government has done for the people of St. Lucia. You have no excuse. On the 1st of December, get up early. Take your whole family and go and vote for the St. Lucia Labour Party. The mood is, earring. I want you to continue to give your support and let us continue to keep St. Lucia on the path of progress. Hip, hip! Hip, hip! Hip, hip! Hip, hip! For Richard Frederick, parliamentary rep for Castries Central.
I was buried alive, but I'm still breathing. I don't know what tomorrow may bring, but I got a feeling. I am alive. There must be a reason. of mine. Class with time. After living a life of sin, some many give up, many give in. It's my determination to win. I survive the worst of times. I survive.
Thank you very much, Mr. DJ. And thank you very much to the Minister, Virginia Albert, for her endorsement of Richard. Ladies and gentlemen, when you have an endorsement like that of your representative, that should make you feel proud. And I know people of Rosehill are proud of him. I know you have been satisfied with the work that he can do. Of course, there is always room for improvement. But given the next 5 years, he is going to do even more for you. So I say to you on that day, December the 1st, go out to the polls and ensure that you re-elect Richard Frederick with the Honorable Philip J. Pierre and the St. Lucia Labour Party. As we move along, ladies and gentlemen, I have another young man here who would like to say a few words of endorsement on behalf of Richard Frederick. I know you may know him in that area. I bring to you Simplicity.
Yeah, man. Greetings, people from Rosehill and the surrounding. Greeting in the name of Rastafari. I come here tonight to testify on behalf of my rep. Because, as you could see, I'm on living in Castries from 6 years, and right now I'm 66. 60 years I live in Castries, and I have seen a transformation of Castries City. The only politician I didn't contend Castries was La Corbinier. But from Mallet right up, I could testify that Mallet, Mr. Mallet, although I grew up in a house, I have to say it like it is. I grew up in a house that my mother and my father, they restrict me from saying anything flabo because these people were die-hard George Shalt supporter and they feel that Compton had betrayed. So I telling you, like Mr. Mallet was very charismatic. He was a very, I would say, caring politician. That's why he stayed in power so long. He never developed Castries, but he used to go around. When that one come from church, he going at his own late, he passing at everybody house. Everybody house. Even at my mother will be coming. Although we never supported him. And he acting. So this man said, but we could see a transfer. We could see from the only other politician that did something in Central Castries, I could recall, is Von Lewis. Although I'm not UWP, I supported Von Lewis in all his endeavors. You know why? Because I said Von Lewis have a doctorate in economy, and an economist would be a good politician. But I don't know, maybe on the way I underestimated. But I could see Von Lewis took out the asbestos and the CDC. That's the only good thing. Apart from that, Sarah, none of them do nothing. But we could see the transformation of the city under Richard Frederick. And nobody could testify that and say no. We could see the plazas. We could see the streets, people moving more pleasant. And the next day I want to rate my brother. I could recall when I growing up, I never knew no ghetto brother getting a contract. Sometimes work going on in your area and they get to certain man and he gives you work. From the advent of Brother Richard, even from UWP, we start seeing peasant people, Malaways, proletariat start getting work, a little contract that you could help yourself. Apart from that, we could see it for ourselves. And what made me love that man more when I heard that man said that his first 10 years in politics, he never took his salary. He left it for underprivileged people. No politicians have ever done that. So we have to look at and
Just sorry, we have an emergency there. What's the number? 1469 1680. Please remove your vehicle. Please. 9205. Please remove your vehicle. You're obstructing traffic. People need to get to their homes. Please. Thank you. Sorry about it, Mike.
You could see that's a humanitarian, a brethren that care. And not only that, we could see that this man is racially conscious. Because as we could see, St. Lucia is about 99% African heritage. And no politician have ever advocated so hard for black people. I could see Brother Richard doing so good in this country. Housing, you have touched. We have to say that Castries is congested, but a lot of, you know what? I'll tell you something. I just Stanley come and tell me that Richard Frederick is Minister of Housing. And he has in Castries. I tell him, Stanley, you're just talking. Castries is congested. You just hear the amount of people that benefit, that get land, that get house, not in Castries, as the Minister of Housing. So you Castries is congested, and yet still, I tell him, check how Castries is being developed under Richard Frederick. You cannot justify that. So he had to shut his mouth, and he already called me Richard Boy. I tell him, no, I'm Richard Brethren. I'm not Richard Boy, Richard Brethren. I come to testify on behalf because I've seen the transformation of Castries. And the next thing I want to say again, are they listening on Timothy Polio? I heard Mr. Shasta saying that he had $5 million down for youth, for what they call it, the youth. What they call it again, the youth? Yeah, youth economy. How this man could lie? This man never talk about that in his life. And Timothy said saying, a next man calling and say, where Pierre getting all these monies to give people bonus and give people permanent work? I feel this guy suffering from temporary amnesia because we could recall all the money this man was giving to Ernst & Young, all the money this man was giving to, you know what I mean? Yeah, all the money this man was giving to OJ Labs, paying. OJ Labs is a big, what they call a conglomerate. And this man was paying all them amenities. The money this man give to put them cancerous, what they call them field, them astroturf field. All these were wasting money. Now we could see that this is the economy is under prudent management. When I mean prudent management, that it is managed properly. Because as we check St. Lucia, what resources we have? We have no gold. All we have is people. So the little money we collect from our CIP and our tax and our, what they call it, the VAT. These monies have to be managed properly to go back on the economy. So we've seen that is a government that care, looking about the people. I mean, I wanted to say more, but people think, Peter say more. What do you call Peter, my brethren. We grew up together, he said more. But we could see, I mean, that the paying of the school fees during the time of Shasta, check what these guys did. These guys actually take out the lab. I mean, you know what I mean? Take out this thing from the children, the computers. That was bad. And today these guys come and tell you they have planned for the youth. These guys is a bunch of liars. These guys hoping to come back and squander our economy. So we have to, on the 1st of December, we have to send a message for these guys. And not only that, the two representatives of Castries, which is the independent, and that joker Shasta, he can't even well speak English. He speaks malaprop, words in the wrong tense. That guy is a total subordinate. He can't tell Shasta nothing. So voting for that guy is a waste of time. This guy is supposed to lose the deposit. Both Mate and Stanley. Because this guy is useless. So we have to, and that they send a message for Shasta and his bunch of crooks. Once and for all, we send these guys out of politics. And before I go, I want to say one thing. People may say I'm racial, I preach in semantic, but as a Garvey writes, the words of Marcus Garvey, if you allow yourself to be ruled by a necked wrist, you deserve to be a slave. Rastafari.
Just live upright and see Jah, and you will be okay. See Jah first, and if you're lost, He will guide you on the way.
Thank you very much, Simplicity. Another endorsement of Richard Frederick. One of these people, well, from a person who lives around you. We'll catch up. Thanks so much. From a person who is from the area. One, he came from among you. A Rastafarian. A Calypsonian, I know him as, you know. And his endorsement was so strong and so right. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to listen to the things that people say to us. When people come to us and try to pretend that they could do better, you're not going to take out a big man who has shown you what he can do to put the person that Alan Shastney sent to you. What Alan Shastney sends to you is somebody who's not ready. He's not prepared. He's not qualified for that job. On the other side, you have a man and Stanley Felix coming to you, pretending that he cares about you. Stanley Felix is only there to grind his axe. Stanley Felix contested Castries Central on 2 occasions under the St. Lucia Labour Party, and he did not win. However, he's not here to win. Stanley Felix knows that he cannot win. He is here to split the votes to give Alan Shastney a chance of getting back into government. We say no. We say an emphatic no to him. We are not bringing them back. We are keeping the Honorable Philip J. Pierre and the St. Lucia Labour Party with Richard Frederick and Stevenson King. We are bringing them back into office. As we move along, ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you a young lady, one whom I know most of you know. I bring to you Charmaine with another endorsement of Richard.
Me not no time for skylocking. Always keep on working and working, yeah. Respect the hustlers in the streets, finding out a way to end me. Respect goes down to real.
The mood is earring. May say, we have 7 days to go. And this is serious business. You heard from speakers before me. But I'll tell you a little story. I live just down that road. Maybe around 1999. And I've seen the transformation of the elevation of this road, the community center, and so many things. But I'll tell you something. This was apparently part of the community and Gabo Yard who brought me to Richard Frederick. The likes of Garfield, Donna, Lisa, they know themselves. And I remember Richard Frederick being so humble and wanting to serve that I was a little aggressive, and I was saying to him that even today, that was in 2006, there was still no toilets and people were doing their business in plastic bags and so on. And that man said to me, I'm going to talk to you later because I have an interview. And then later that evening around 6:30, he sent a car to pick me up. And he called me and he said to me, the same way that you spoke to me about what you want for the development of your community, I want you to come and share that on a platform. And I had not ever done it in my life before, but life is about taking chances and giving the best of you. So he told the campaign manager, Angel Brett, and she said to me, if you think you can do it, you can. And so I shared my thoughts of the development of the youth, about scholarships, about the development of the community, having proper toilet facilities in the city, and bit by bit, from 2006 to present day, Richard Frederick has always given his best. Is that the truth, Castries Central? And not just that this is a man who talks because he wants to be popular or because he wants to be powerful. He can resonate with us. That is a man who, though he had the academic ability to get to where he wanted in life, he may not have had the financial fortitude at the time. And so he resonates with us parents who cannot always afford to send our children to school, who cannot always afford to allow them to have further education. I remember in 2011, when my son sat common entrance and a number of other students whose parents were dear to him and him in his camp. And he said those who had performed exceptionally would have gotten a scholarship. But it was an election year. And Richard Frederick is a man that makes it happen quick and in a hurry, or he thinks on his feet. So he dialogued with Auntie Angel and he said to her, this is an election year. So if I offer those students a scholarship, no one knows what the outcome of election may be. And so that may dwindle. And so he decided to give each child $500. Today, that is a staple on the government calendar. And that is the thinking, the process, and the feelings of the Honorable Richard Frederick. The National Housing Assistance Program for Rehabilitation of Housing, that was birthed in the brain of the Honorable Richard Frederick, who went to a home. When he got there, he saw a young female like myself with 2 children who are autistic, and the house was in no position to house them. He cried. Nikki, and at the time, Dax Norville. He got free mattresses almost immediately, Speedy Gonzalez. And he ensured that that house was fixed. And it was from sharing that particular testimony with a cabinet of ministers, with the Honorable Philip J. Pierce spearheading the government, he indicated too that it was not just a Castries central problem, but it was an island-wide problem. And there birthed the National Housing Assistance Program. So you know, when you talk about your rep is just there to get your votes and sit down. Huh? He always has something in motion that will not just benefit Castries Central, but would benefit St. Lucia at large. And you can take that to the bank. Ajo was CD pa MFA PS by housing. Richard Frederick is not just the housing minister for Castries Central. He's the housing minister for the entire St. Lucia. And if you listen to the news, if you follow the page of the National Housing Corporation, you would see that not only do they own their own housing corporation office, man poale jisan souci ay pay le kaimwe, just Chaussee Road. CDC Avil, just Chaussee Road pour ay pay bilo. Tout moun kite dwe CDC. Let 2021 vini, ek Richard Frederick West a se a problem pour gouvernement. He write off tout debt, ek tout moun koma se fwe. Sa se un nom ki ni ou a solide, ek ki vle ou pogwe. So let us not let the rhetoric, the novices, nou pa crush, ek nou pa pièce hurry, pou nou mahe baks. Nou aka mahe chicken, egg steak, and nou continue mahe chicken, egg steak. Because Philip J. Pierre has our interests at heart. The St. Lucia Labour Party, along with the candidates, the only independent candidates that are endorsed by Philip Joseph Pierre, is the Honorable Richard Frederick and the Honorable Stevenson King. Tell them, put it in their pipe and smoke it. ROSEHILL, I am familiar with you. And I can resonate with every one of you. Yesterday, I was 49 years old. And I did not have the opportunities that the students today have. If I had those opportunities, I would probably have a master's today. But the government has actually made policies that could affect the lives of your children to better your future as their parents by allowing them 4 CXC subjects. And even in that year, if they are challenged and they do not do well, they have another year where they can take a chance at it again. Isn't that a government that is putting you first? Book bloody, ipav koumanye, a gouvernement qui mette moun premier avec pogwe. Ask yourself a deep question. Is this man for you? Is he for your children? Is he for your grandchildren? people of Castries Central, Zordi in the city, Richard Frederick Vinny, Lani Tut Tikwe, Lani Odasbin Kifeme, Ekusab Mete, Tut Zordiula, Ek Le Solid Waste Vinny, Yokanik Amase, Ek Party. Isn't that a breath of fresh air? Isn't that a breath of fresh air? Do not play a gamble with your vote. Your vote is sacred. People gave up their lives to be able to vote. You have that chance. That is sacred. But when you use it, do not prostitute it for $250 or $150 to attend the rally. Because I stand on a platform where I know a man will never pay you to vote for him. And I can take that to the bank. He will work. If there's a problem in your community and he can assist at the time, he will do it, but not for a vote. He is a man that thinks of the future. Richard Frederick has been endorsed by the Honorable Philip Joseph Pierre because he is a man of integrity. He is a steady man. He is a hard-working man. And most importantly, you know he puts you first. Yesterday, I'll share a little testimony if some of you were present. We've been on the campaign trail. We've been at it every Sunday, almost every night. And yesterday was my birthday. But fortunately, the integrity of Philip Joseph Pierre, he canceled all political activities to honor the Archbishop and the Catholic Church with their Golden Jubilee. Say lot lale. It was my birthday, so I said to Auntie Angela, make I be a dummy. But lo and behold, by 4 p.m., the rep who I work as a team with, Yopekuyeme Bolon Mamele, now to Avaipu Castries Central. He said to me, I'm going to have a drink with you later, Charmaine. So I thought the usual, maybe come sit, have a quick drink and go. But this man has honored the fact that I've stood with him. And he gave me something that I've not had since a child. He gave me a birthday party on Jeremy Street where all of the people that I serve were able to celebrate with me. And that is a man that's responsible for the people who put out the best in them, and he gives you the best. Still high from Depi Yoswe. Masako pon kumanye mwemem deserves. That is the power of Richard Frederick. Richard Frederick is a man of no nonsense. And so, as a lawyer who always says to you, there are three sides to a story. Yours, mine, and the truth. He will never use his supporters to trample against each other. He is a peacemaker. And if you diss the program, he will tell you straight up, this is not the way. But he also says to you, it is unto all. And if you falter, he will chastise you and correct you. But he will hold your hand tomorrow and say, this is the past, let us move on. So Tutsaki against Lee, Dio, he is going forward, never backward. And he has 10,000 troops following him. It is important that we realize that this government has put pensioners first. They have put our students first. They have put our homes first. They have put a minimum wage first. Demolition man ada kwe. Iti ishoje put the worst. He's coming with a big axe to ensure that 600 caregivers go home. All those who are made employment, who are made permanent, they will be chastised. The school laptop program will go back. Man gaina sa owe yos weka di flabo ko pulfuize. Do not let your vote be one of regrets. This train is destined This seems like a mood of 1997. And Castries Central, Philip JP has endorsed your seat at the table. The only thing missing is for you to get to the polls on December 1st and put your ex by that hand that has reached out to us through good and bad times. Because you know what? Richard Frederick doesn't only stand when he's in power, you know. Even when Richard Frederick is out of office, he holds the hand of everyone who has ever supported him. And you can take that to the bank. And so you have no fear that if you put that man in office, ça c'est seulement myself qui couille de pada, et depuis couille de pada, tout gouvernement vle. Right or wrong? So, you know what you have to do on December 1st. The choice is clear. Clear, clear, clear. And we are not going backward. Never, never, never. Yo di se nou ki ni bolom, nou ka fe voodoo, pase kilten, nou ka exhibite kilten nou. So si lete Jack Rush ni pa voodoo. The heavyweight, the champion, Richard Frederick, the one and only. You have a man, people, who everything he touches becomes magnificent. And as long as he's out of office, to spite him, but not just him, you, the people of Castries Central, they put it where it hurts you most. And the ROSEHILL Community Center is one such place. Whenever Richard is out of office, it goes into neglect. Just like Serenity Park, just like Jeremy Street Plaza, and so many other areas, Kenneth Rigler Court. But as long as Bob the Builder, the man who is not just Bob the Builder, a lawyer, a confidant, a counselor, everything in one, he comes back and he puts it together. Castries Central, do you want to be on the front line? Crystal, what do you say? Central, what do you say? And we are making no mistake. PS show was see. PS no pa PS rush poemize. We are sticking with the momentum. We are sticking with a proven worker who says, judge me by my performance. The vendors have been alleviated. Our courts and facilities for recreation have been rehabilitated. Our children have with the policies put in place, not just by Honorable Philip J. Pierre, but a cabinet that includes the Honorable Richard Frederick, which is your rep. And so on December 1st, remember, we are independent leader, but your symbol is the hand that has always reached out to you. So when you go to the polls, take your neighbor, take your child, take any family member, friend, anyone in the community. You have a lot of guidance. You have a booklet to guide you. And tomorrow, there'll be a manifesto. Pas manifesto bluff. A manifesto qui kay moutrou continuation pour gwe gouvernement actuellement. And you have to say to them, I am sticking with the mood. The mood is, and we are going back to progress. Après December 1st, we just continue in government business as usual. Good night, and I thank you.
Respect goes out to realize. Respect to my keep the brain. To feel the children down the drain. Respect goes out to them.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. And we're moving along. Endorsement after endorsement gives you reason after reason why we should stick with Philip Pierre. And don't let people fool you. A vote for anybody else. Hello? A vote for anybody else in Castries Central is a vote to bring Alan Chasney back. Bringing Alan Chasney back is bringing misery back on our backs. Alan Chasney is going to stop almost every project that the government has started. Alan Chasney is going to find a way to get rid of the caregivers because Philip Pierre made them permanent. Alan Chasney would burn his house to kill a rat. And we're not about to stand for that. We're not about to allow him to come back and destroy what we have built, what we are going to continue to build. We are moving forward with Philip J. Pierre and Richard Frederick. Ladies and gentlemen, as we move along, we bring you a young man for another big endorsement of Richard Frederick. We bring you Nikki Cauldron, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't worry about a thing. Every little thing gonna be alright. Singing, don't worry.
Rosehill, good night. My gosh, look at people. The moodies. Crystal, what do you say? My word, look at people. That is what they cannot deal with. That is what they cannot understand. Why people are following Richard Frederick. My brothers and sisters, 1 week away. I am excited. I am feeling good. But you know what? They started attacking me on Facebook. But you know what? Let me tell you all something. When I know something is good, I am going to fight for it. And whatever they try, they can never bring me down because I am standing and we all are standing behind Richard Frederick. This week is going to be nasty, my brothers and sisters. Get ready for it. I am telling you that. All their propaganda, all their lies, get ready for it. And like I told them before, 35 years I'm into the politics. I remember walking up that hill with Stanley Felix. I remember campaigning. And tonight I am back again. But this time I am on the winning team, and that is Richard Frederick. Counting the days. We are. And, you know, I saw a post on Facebook where a lady was saying that Richard Frederick don't care about people, a vendor. My brothers and sisters, total lies. I know the entire story, but I won't talk about it. I will not. Because whatever they can try, whenever you are blessed, nothing can bring you down, my brothers and sisters. They are trying their best to bring down Richard Frederick, but tell him I say, he is truly blessed. Truly blessed. Because he have people praying for him, my brothers and sisters. He have people praying, and whenever you have people praying for you, nothing can bring you down. Nothing. So they are coming. They are coming after all of us. And I told them already, try your best. I will be resolute. I will not falter. You look at the young kids. I remember my mother telling me she can never vote for United Workers' Party because in those days, when you are a teacher and you are not married, you know, and you're pregnant, you have to give up. You had to. But today, look at the children nowadays. They are smart. Imagine your child coming home with homework and you as a parent sometimes you don't even understand. You do not even know. And today they are making a big fuss about the children supporting the St. Lucia Labour Party or making noise. Making noise. But sometimes the parent comes home and the parents tell the children what is going on. The children today, I call them computer scientists. They are smarter than us parents. So, we have a lot to celebrate. 4 years, he has been the parliamentary rep for Castries Central, and he has done mighty work. Mighty. And I heard someone said that he did nothing for Castries Central. Can you believe that? Absolutely nothing. So, every meeting we had thus far, every single meeting we had thus far, it was, wherever we went, Richard played a hand. Tonight, I want you to tell me, who built this? Who built this, my brothers and sisters? And you telling me he did nothing? The roads, who did it? So, we can go. And yes, my boss is pointing this to me. I know that very well because I get the calls all the time. Nikki, come on, we need the garbage up in Rosehill. You know, but he Belton, he really bell. Mistake. He bell. And it is the work of Richard Frederick again. And all over Castries Central, you will see the garbage disposal areas are well kept and built by the Honorable Richard Frederick, my brothers and sisters. You look at Serenity Park. It had to take Richard Frederick to come back into politics to restore Serenity Park. Look at Darling Road. Look at Jeremy Street Plaza. Look at it, my brothers and sisters. It had to take again Richard Frederick to come back into politics. And today people can feel free. They can be relaxed at the Jeremy Street Plaza. The Gardens Court, look at it. Grass Street. And I see Prince here tonight. Look at Grass Street Court. You know, and they will criticize those areas. But in those areas, they appreciate the comrade Richard Frederick, my brothers and sisters. And that is why we have numbers here tonight, because Richard Frederick appreciates his people, my brothers. You know, all the lies. But whenever you lie to get into power, it come back to haunt you. And that's what happened to the United Workers' Party. You heard of the Prime Minister. You heard the Prime Minister said that he's asking the people of Castries Central to vote for Richard Frederick. That is a great endorsement. A great endorsement. And you know, when you're into politics, you have to know when to bow out. But sometimes you have to be a team player. You have to be a team player. But some people, they hate to lose. And they are bitter. I look all around Castries Central. I don't see not one orange tree. None. All I see is Richard Frederick giving a helping hand. That is what I see in Castries Central. Richard Frederick always helping people, my brothers and sisters. And tonight someone said something, you know, that Richard Frederick cried. I'm a Leo too. I'm the 9th, he's the 6th. And I'm telling you that we Leos, you know, we can look, you know, we can be tough at times, but our heart sometimes can be soft. And I know about Richard Frederick. He loves his people. He feels for his people night and day. And whenever you have a problem, you better come straight to Richard Frederick. Do not lie to him. Do not ever lie to Richard Frederick. Whatever is your problem, you come straight and he will help you out. Always tell you all that. I know him. And never try to mamaga him. It's Matan. In his Everton, he on. So, If you want to be his friend or you want to be around him, sometimes the situation might be rough. But just come openly and tell him, boss, that is the situation. Never lie to Richard Frederick. Never try to even steal from him. Never. This man is honest, you know. And some people will try their best, but no. And I can tell you the last 4 years, I have found a friend. A friend. And sometimes it is difficult to say that you have a friend. Because I remember 2 years ago, you know, he pulled me up. He pulled me up, you know. And the next day when he saw me, he said to me, Nikki, I love you. I said, boss, you know what? I love you more. I love you more because that's what real friends do. And sometimes, my brothers and sisters, your true friends is when you're upset and people say things when they're upset. That's when you know if someone is your friend, my brothers and sisters. If someone is your friend, whatever that is discussed among you, you leave it right there. You leave it there. And I can tell you that this man cares about people. So, as we get ready for Monday, my brothers and sisters, what do you want? What do you want? You want to celebrate? Do you want to celebrate? So all I'm asking of you, come Monday by 5:30, I want all of us to be marching to that ballot box, that polling station, to cast that vote for Richard Frederick and the Labour Party. Don't tell me you're tired. Don't tell me you're waiting on that line too long. Don't tell me that. Wait for 3 hours to vote. Because we have one mission, that the United Workers' Party can never come back in power again, my brothers and sisters. Never, never. And I see so many of you here tonight. And so, I'm saying to you, Monday, we want our parliamentary rep to have the best time of his life. The best time of his life, my brothers and sisters. And for us to achieve that, make sure you know where you are voting. It is important, it is paramount that you know. Ensure that you have your ID card. Get your friends, my brothers and sisters. Let us know what you need, water, whatever it is. Because by 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, we want to know that we're okay. We do not want to be looking for people. All we want is that line to be long. Long. Now they have 4. They have 4 candidates. And I hope next election they can raise it from 250 to 5,000 because that's Papi show. Top play at Mutepu politics. You know? 500, put it to $5,000. Because being a politician, it is something that is serious. People's lives are at stake. And don't tell me you never campaign. No, people don't know you and you want to be a candidate. How can that be? So they have 4. 3 against 1. 3 against 1. So that's 4 of them. So we have the hands. So the hands will out the floppo. Just hold it, out it. Then they have the spoon. So the hands will scoop the spoon. And what's the other one? What's the other one, Angel? I don't even know. But, so, for the first time in Castries Central, Richard Frederick will beat 3 candidates. 3. And they have 1. They have 1. 1. That Pojab, he will lose for the 3rd time. And I only hope he understands that his political career is over. Friday, we give them the shock of their life. And they were walking like they mean business. But we remain calm. We were calm, my brothers and sisters. We stayed in line. And I want to say thank you to our supporters for being calm. because we know we have that mission, and that is coming Monday. My brothers and sisters, do not take this thing lightly. Do not take it lightly. And I know my boss. Yeah, I say my boss. I'm proud of that. I know you want to celebrate. And I want to celebrate. I want to dance too. Right, Charmaine? We want to have the biggest party ever in Castries Central. And the only way we can do that is to make sure that we win that seat by more than 2,000 votes, my brothers and sisters. Let us make a statement. Let us make that statement, because our rep has worked for the interests of Castries Central and by extension, the St. Lucia Labour Party and St. Lucia. He has fought for us. So now is our time. And as I say good night, I want to remind you, from now on, it's called Time No Sleep. Time no sleep. We are on the move. We will sleep on Tuesday morning. That's when we will sleep. We have to find out all of our voters, my brothers. Come to the office. Tell us, who do we need to go and get? Who needs wheelchair? Who needs whatever it is? Come and tell us. And all of you, one by one, you have to at least get 3 people. That's your target. 3 or 4 people. 4 or more. You're not coming and vote by yourself. You're not. You have to find some folks to come along. So, Monday, some people, they are afraid. They are afraid. But we are ready. Are you ready? Are you ready? The mood is. Crystal, what do you say? Thank you, my brothers and sisters.
Conquerors, and we're going out to ensure our future, that of our children, that of our country. We are keeping Philip Pierre. We are keeping Richard Frederick. We are keeping the St. Lucia Labour Party. And we are also keeping Stevenson King. Ladies and gentlemen, all of you eligible to vote on Monday, please go out. Go out in large numbers. Don't stay at home and say Richard win already, or this person has won already, or the party has won already. We are going out to double it. We are going out to double the votes. So each and every one of you, I implore you to go out and vote on Monday, the 1st of December. As we move along, ladies and gentlemen, I bring you another powerful lady, a young lady from Castries Central. I bring to you Yasmin Steele, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening, the people of ROSEHILL. Good evening, the people of ROSEHILL. We are here in our numbers. Tonight, I really feel good. When I walked in and I saw the sea of red, I know that next Monday, the victory is here. And this evening, my message is very simple, very brief. We all know, we all have seen the performance of the Honorable Richard Frederick. We know who he is. We have seen him work. We walk through Castries Central and we cannot deny that he has performed. But 1 week away, next Monday, it is our turn to perform. It's our turn to show up. It's our turn to make that journey to the ballot box. And next week, Monday, we should be going to the ballot box to vote for our children's future. We should be going to the ballot box when we hear about universal health care. We need to go to the ballot box and vote the St. Lucia Labour Party. We need to vote the Honorable Richard Frederick. When we sit and we look at the representation we had in the past, in fact, we had no representation in the past. But now we can stand here tall. We could come here, look at the sea of red, because we know we have representation in the man Richard Frederick. I have gone around the constituency endorsing Richard Frederick, and I've said to the people that the choice is easy. And I said to you, the people of Rosehill, when you look around your community, when we are standing before your community center, when Richard Frederick is not in power, we see the state of this community center. Whenever Richard Frederick is in power, he thinks about the community of Rosehill and he ensures your community center is up to par. Your disposal of garbage is up to par. He knows your community is clean. This is your parliamentary representative, Honorable Richard Frederick. Honorable Richard Frederick representation, in my opinion, is personal. It's not something that we see a pie in the sky. We don't need to sit at home and watch TV to see Honorable Richard Frederick. He's a man that walks with us. He talks with us. He works for us. He represents us in the House of Parliament. He's in our communities. When we call him, we can reach him. This is the man I endorse this evening. I said to you, the people of Rosehill, do not take the 1st of December lightly. There are people who come with promises. There are people who say that they will do. You cannot trust them with the future of your children. You cannot trust them with the future of your community. You cannot trust them to deliver what they say they will, because we know we have seen it before and they did not deliver. But I stand here this evening and I wear a shirt that says, judge him on his performance. And I say to you, the people of Rosehill, he has performed, and we now need to go and support the Honorable Richard Frederick, and we only need to go and cast that vote. Now, again, the choice is easy. The choice is easy, the people of Rosehill. But we need to cast our vote early. Let me tell you why. Let rain not stop you. Let long lines not stop you. Let not the hot sun stop you. Because you know you have representation in the man Richard Frederick. So on the 1st of December, the people of Rosehill, we will be going to the polls bright and early. We want no delays. We want no obstacles. We want nothing to stand in our way, because we need to cast that vote, and we need to cast that vote early. And I say to you, the people of Rosehill, you all just start to hear story. You see, this week, this last leg to the polls, you will be hearing story. When people are grabbing at straws, you will see them. You will hear them. Stay focused. Stay focused, because, and I love to see the children around here this evening. I love to see when children get involved in politics. When people stand and say, why you have children involved in politics? Look, my mother is right there. I was born into politics. The eloquent speaker that you see before you, it stemmed from politics. And let me tell you how. 7 o'clock every evening, when it was news, my mother sat me down and I had to listen to the news. And I was invited when there was a commercial break to debate the various topics when I watched the DBS and HDS news. Children have an opinion. You think the children don't know who Richard Frederick is? You think when a mother has to pick up the phone and say, boss, this is my situation. Boss, I need some assistance. You think the children don't know who shows up for their family? You think the children don't see the transformation of their community? You think the children don't see a man in their community walking through the community with Team RF and saying, we need to do this and we need to do this now, and it happens? You think the children are stupid? You think the children are in a little box? That's the kind of children you're raising? But I have a message for all the detractors. I am a product of politics. I am a product of debating issues. I was raised to speak up. Whenever my mother had an issue with me, my mother used to say, speak up, I need to hear your voice. Let the children speak. And I say, bravo to the teachers of the schools who brought the children out and exposed them to politics. Why? Politics is all around us. Politics is in our communities. Politics is in our schools. You think the children not talking about it in the schools? You think the children not coming home and saying, my friends say? You think the children not saying, but mommy, la panija flabo? These are topics my friends call me and they tell me that the children are speaking about it. Why do we want to put our children in a box? From a very young age, I was encouraged to have those debates. I went to rallies on a Sunday. Soleil show. My mother had me standing up, listening to the various speakers. At that time, as many of you would have known, I was born into the United Workers' Party. So once upon a time, that was the party I follow. Major de la Pani Flabo. Flabo has been dead a long time ago. So now I understood that it is gone and I'm here on this platform. So when Sir John at the time came and he was the last speaker, listen to me, I used to be so happy because now my mother would take me home. But I understood the issues. I went home and I had questions. People of ROSEHILL, people of St. Lucia, encourage your children to debate. Encourage your children to speak on issues. They have an opinion. The children are exposed more than you all could even understand. Let them get the guidance from home. I said to you, the people of ROSEHILL, we are on our way to victory. You could go all through St. Lucia and we go through all the schools. You go through the supermarkets. Recently at a business place in town, people passing and you're hearing the workers inside of there playing their music. Say, Flobo Awaje. So when I wondered, what? That's a business place? The workers inside of the business place playing music. We are on the road to victory. The victory is here, I say to you. But we need to seal that victory. We need to confirm that victory. We need to prepare for us to celebrate that victory the night of the 1st. And we can only do it when each and every one of you here and all of us watching live and all of us in our homes go out on the 1st of December and vote the man Richard Frederick. Be careful when they say to you all nonsense about Richard Frederick not party. That's nonsense. The Honorable Philip Joseph Pierre, the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, endorsed your parliamentary representative. Honorable Philip J. Pierre said Richard Frederick is the man we need to vote for. The Philip Joseph Pierre that you all have seen his policies have said Richard Frederick is the man that worked with him in many ways to get a lot of things delivered. The Honorable Philip Joseph Pierre said to us he respects Richard Frederick and his hard work as a parliamentary representative and all what he did in the cabinet. This is your parliamentary representative. Do not let them fool you. If the Honorable Richard Frederick stands so tall, you know why he does it? For all of us sitting here this evening. So right now, our job is only on the 1st of December to cast our votes. And I said this evening to the Honorable Richard Frederick, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of the man, Richard Frederick. He maybe don't remember that, but Richard Frederick came to my house sometime before last election. He came in, he closed the door, he had Team RF with him, and he came into my apartment in the CDC with me and my mom. He sat with us. He shared his ideas. I had some questions for him. I told them, you all know me already. Moi toujours voulais savoir. So I asked him questions directly. And everything this man said to me, almost 6 or 7 years ago, Richard Frederick have delivered everything he has said to me. And I say to you, the people of Rosehill, when Richard Frederick comes to you and he says, I will do it, you'll know he does it. Richard Frederick is a man of his word. And I challenge anybody to tell me that's not true. I have seen it already. When Richard Frederick says to you, he will get it done, he gets it done. The only thing I could tell you, those of us working with Richard Frederick can tell you, his speed is faster and fastest. When he says now, everybody around Richard Frederick, you're sticking that he needs it now. That's the man, Richard Frederick. But then again, we, the constituents, we have benefited from his work ethics. We have benefited from Richard Frederick's vision. We have benefited from Richard Frederick's energy. We have benefited from the man we know as Richard Frederick. This is the man I said to you, we are going to re-elect on the 1st of December. This is the man I stand here and I say to you all, I am proud of, because all around the island, I was speaking to a young lady a few days ago, and she said to me, I want Richard Frederick as my parliamentary representative. Moi di, ou pa vle PS Roro epi nou ki sorti Central. That is our rep, and he's staying with us in Central, and we will re-elect Richard Frederick come the 1st of December. I said to you, my brothers and my sisters, as I close, the choice is easy. When you look at the slate of candidates, the choice is easy. When you look at the slate of people who have stayed with us, they have charted the course with us. When you look at the man who stayed with us, who charted the course with us, and we look at the others, we can say the choice is easy. So I encourage you, the people of Rosehill, we are going out in our numbers on the 1st of December. Pawete Kaizote di Richard Frederick Hage. Richard Frederick has not won without your vote. Your vote is important. I encourage all of us to do it early, and we are supporting Richard Frederick come the 1st of December. Good night to you, my brothers and sisters. I'll see you the night of the 1st, where we celebrate our victory.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I see you out here in large numbers. On the 1st of December, I cannot tell you, I have to keep saying it over and over. Some of us get up and we feel lazy. If a little rain fall, we feel we don't want to go. Go out and go out in your large numbers. Make sure you go and vote. Ladies and gentlemen, if we bring the United Workers' Party back into office, it is going to be a catastrophe. We do not want that. What is happening in America now? I know most of you watch American news. If we try to bring Alan Chasney back, I tell you all, it is going to be twice as worse. Because he's coming back for revenge. He's coming back for revenge, and we're not going to give him that opportunity. We are not going to give him that opportunity. We are here to prevent him from coming back. We are here to keep Philip J. Pierre. Philip J. Pierre has done enough for us. Philip J. puts people first. He will continue to put people first. And I ask you to support him. Continue to support him in putting people first. A vote for Richard Frederick is a vote for Philip Pierre. Ladies and gentlemen, as we move along, I bring to you another young man, one whom I know most of you in Rosehill know very well, as he's from right across the road there. I bring to you, ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Alexander.
Alan Michael Chasney is a damn blasted liar. Alan Michael Chasney is a damn blasted liar. Thank you, Mr. DJ. Good evening, my people of Rosehill. Bosswe, Tutpun. Good night, people of Rosehill. I saw people down the road, Mondido Graveyard, Leslie Land, Obama Go. Maybe people all in the jungle probably hearing our voice tonight. Good night, Bosswe, Tutpun. My brothers and sisters, as I always say, it is not common to find me on a political platform endorsing a political candidate. However, I know when the history is written, the history will ask, in a time like this, in a time when we have so much at stake, what did Aaron Alexander do? Did Aaron Alexander remain quiet? Is Aaron Alexander a Suse? Is Aaron Alexander on the sideline? Is Aaron Alexander refusing to go and support one way or the other? So when the history is written, it shall note that Aaron Alexander stood on the side of truth, stood on the side of honesty, and stood on the side of a government that is bringing progress to St. Lucia. My brothers and sisters, standing here tonight, I am totally I say, endorsing the Honorable Richard Frederick as our next rep for Castries Central. The last time you saw me in the political cycle, I was running for the Green Party. But this time around, I have seen with my eyes that there is no need to have no Green Party, because this government of the St. Lucia Labour Party, with Richard Frederick and Honorable Philip J. Pierre, I am seeing enough progress is being made. Some of the things that the Green Party was talking about, Mwekawe Labour Party Akafe. So sometimes it's not about individuals, it's about ideas. And when it's good for the country, we must embrace it, whichever party that's implementing it. And I thank goodness that Honorable Richard Frederick is part of a team that is implementing good things for St. Lucia. And when I say good things, brothers and sisters, I think of issues like the minimum wage. The minimum wage, brothers and sisters, that is something very good for us as a people. CX is being paid for our children. Health care for our people. Facility fees. The laptop. My brothers and sisters, there is too much at stake for us to stay at home and don't go out to vote. So come December the 1st, make sure You go out in your numbers. I will be there personally to lead you and take you to that ballot box and make sure we re-elect Honorable Richard Frederick and the Labour Party back into government, brothers and sisters. Right now is no time to skylark. It's no time for jokers. When I look at on the other side and I see people that rush in to come and represent us, and I ask myself, I raise up right there in the graveyard area. Ma jamais ouais mi se jouer small goals avec nous. Mi se pas jamais jouer anti-game football avec nous. Mi se pas jamais jouer road tennis avec nous. Mi se pas jamais jouer chichi avec sec avec nous, avec roule taille avec boapin. So I cannot understand a man who have not represented us on any level. Now you want to come and ask us to vote for you? That's an insult. That is an insult to us in Castries Central. And I say no vote for him. No vote for him, I say, brothers and sisters. My brothers and sisters, when you look at Honorable Richard Frederick and you see his symbol, you see the hand. And I heard some of the other speakers allude to that earlier. Everywhere you go in Central Castries, Richard Frederick Hamela. Everywhere you go in Central Castries, he has touched there all little corners. And as we stand here tonight, look at that building behind us. And you know what? Even those who are trying to come and ask for your vote now, two part to your alley, for your campaign, ek limiting you, Richard Frederick Kibatila. Richard Frederick that built it. It could be a human resource center, a community center, it could be a road, it could be a footpath. Two part to your alley pour campaign, la yo gade tout on yo kawe Richard Frederick two part. So how could you say this man has not worked for Castries Central? How could you say that? So these are people who are not honest. These are liars. These are bluffers. Mwetan yo ale fe launching of manifesto yo. Mwen ositan, the Archbishop asked that Sunday, that was the Jubilee, for there to be peace and quiet, no political activities, etc., etc. Ek misye asis an l'église la ou sav. Ek ki sav la kite la, ko ka ale se denri at the political party session pour launch manifesto yi. Ma pe kompon ki ka chill, ki ka te hypocrite sa ye. Ma pe kompon sa pièce, I don't understand the logics with this man. Right? Ek un bou ki ka supporte Flobo di mwen. Non, Aaron, c'est pas dimanche sa yo di. Yo di se dimanche ki ka avant élection. Mati. So, my brothers and sisters, we must stay on the truth and we must stay on the right. We must support honesty. And this Labour Party has delivered. When I look at even some of the things that they talk about in their manifesto, and I'm seeing right now they're talking about giving bonus. Giving bonus. Leute la, ou bay tout l'argent nou. He said the country was broke. Ou broke le pays a. Nou pa ni de sou an treasure. Ou pa te sa bay pièce bonus. À présent, Richard Frederick et puis Philippe JP, yo vie bâti pays a. La ni l'argent. Ou vle vie entre la pour faire nous broke encore. Ou vle faire nous broke encore. Ou pas sa manage rien. Papa ou dou pas sa manage un supermarket. Ek nou kay mette pays nou en la main ou? Never. Mr. Kafu, my brothers and sisters, the man give away all our money to so many different entities. You brought the country broke. Now you're talking about if they elect you, you'll give bonus. Right now, you're talking about, oh, by the way, you're talking about giving people bonus. Mais Philippe J. Jacques a fait ça. Philippe J. is doing that already. You talk about making civil servants permanent. We're doing that already. You talk about health care. We're doing that already. You're talking about now, instead of $5,000, you're giving the youth economy $25,000. That's a bluff. That's a bluff. Talking about first-time home owners, they're giving you $25,000 for your first home. That's a bluff. Another bluff. He talk about $75,000 insurance, health insurance for every St. Lucian. Another bluff. So will we fall for those bluffs again? Will we fall for those lies again? My brothers and sisters, you've heard it from speaker after speaker. This coming election, the choice is clear, my brothers and sisters. The choice is clear. Honorable Richard Frederick is part of a cabinet of ministers that is bringing progress to St. Lucia. Let us not stop that progress. Let there be continuity. When you look at these guys and you see right now, they'll tell you, Labour Party supporters, we are racist. We're talking about Chasney is a white man, this and that and the other. When St. Lucia elected Alan Chasney in 2016, nous pas racist. Nous pas racist. Ek nou wè sa ikabay. Ek sa ikabay, nou pa vle encore. We don't want it again. So now, as we're saying, we don't want it again, we are racist. We are racist now. Ek ou toujou sav, historically, Indians always supported white people against the black man. That's the history. So don't be surprised at Guy Joseph and the way he behaving, and when you hear about his poodle and this and that and the other. Don't be surprised, because even as we speak, right now, down in South America, look at the Prime Minister of Trinidad, the Indian lady supporting the Americans to attack Venezuela. That just goes to show you that historically, Indian people always support the white man against the black man. And as you heard from Simplicity tonight, Simplicity told us over 90% of St. Lucians are black people. We are black people. And that's a fact. So don't allow any other race to control us. We are in the majority. And you heard the song tonight when Yasmin was coming, that majority rules. We are the majority. And we must make sure we have a prime minister who looks like us, that talks like us, that walks with us, and care about us. And that's Honorable Philip J. Pierre. Philip J. Pierre is the man. My brothers and sisters, I will tell you something. The last time I saw St. Lucians really embrace a prime minister and really love their prime minister, and what we saw from the school children on nomination day, that was so wonderful. Spontaneous reaction, because the children feeling the vibes. The children feeling the love. And the last time I saw love expressed to a prime minister like this was in 97 when Kenny Anthony came on the scene. And we said, Kenny is the man. Kenny is the man. That was what we were chanting. But in this time and this dispensation, Philip Joseph Pierre is the man, brothers and sisters. That is why we love him so. And we shall continue to love him and embrace him. And Philip J. Pierre has said to us, and as a matter of fact, anyone, any person Philip J. Pierre endorse, we must embrace that person. We must embrace that person. And Philip J. Pierre has said that the Honorable Richard Frederick is the only independent Labour candidate in this race, the one and only. So don't let no other come and fool you. Don't let them fool you. Right now is 2 against 1. 2 against 1 right now. But you know what? Honorable Richard Frederick is not alone. He is not alone. With the 2 against 1, ka ota mun kila kika support Richard Frederick. So Richard, you are not alone. We are there with you, my brother. We're going to stand with you. We're going to walk with you and ensure come December the 1st, we give you the victory at this coming elections, my brother. That is the goal. Giving you the victory, maintaining and keeping the Honorable Philip J. Pierre as our Prime Minister, and the Labour Party keeping them in government as they continue to bring progress to us, brothers and sisters. That is what we have to do. My brothers and sisters, when you tell me bagay an tet mwen pou mwen laje, when you tell me bagay pou mwen do, mwen sav, Lea ka vini an ti men yet ta. But like you heard from Nikki, is no sleep from now. No sleep. We have to remain vigilant. We have to remain on our feet because right now that's the home stretch and the battle is only getting hotter. So we must have no sleep and ensure that we go out and support every meeting, every activity, and make sure come December the 1st, we put the Honorable Richard Frederick back in office, back in the parliament, and back in the cabinet of Honorable Philip J. Pierre. My brothers and sisters, right now you've seen what is happening on the other side. And I like to say, right now on the other side, tout moun ka koudi. Tout moun ka koudi on the other side. Everyone is running away. So tell me, is that a party we could entrust our country in their hands? Is that a party we could entrust our country in their hands? We cannot do that, brothers and sisters. We're going to be crazy to do that. And these guys, they don't want anything good for St. Lucia. They don't want anything good for St. Lucia. When Alan Shastek can say, he don't know what it is to put people first. He don't know what it is to put people first. Est-ce c'est un homme pour nous mettre en pouvoir? Is that a man to lead us as a people? We cannot do that, brothers and sisters. He don't know how to put people first. So that means you will be behind Talon Soulier. That's what he's going to do to us. My brothers and sisters, these guys have no plan. They have no plan. What they want to come and do is to take revenge on us because they feel that St. Lucia belongs to them. He feels as if he has a God-given right to be Prime Minister of St. Lucia. But we're saying to him, no way. No way. So come December the 1st, là il peut voler ça encore. Il peut voler, mettre zèle, et vieux Canada ko il sorti ya. C'est là il peut aller because he's a product of Canada. We'll send him to Canada. Come December the 1st, brothers and sisters. My brothers and sisters, tonight is a great night. And we have a great leader that is standing with us. He has done his part. He has done his work. All over the constituency, he has done his work. Now, it is our turn to show him gratitude, to show him love, and show him appreciation. And the way we can all do that is come December the 1st, going into this polling station and making sure we re-elect Honorable Richard Frederick and the Labour Party to take us further into progress and further into development. Brothers and sisters, we saw the Honorable Philip J. Pierre. He handed over the St. Jude's building. And of course, he got a lot of criticism for that, saying, oh, you promised a hospital. How you giving us a building? As I've said before, and I will say again, when a contractor builds a house for you, he must first give you your keys and tell you your house is finished. And when that house is finished, then you make that house into a home by bringing in your furniture, bringing in all your appliances, bringing your things inside of that house to make sure you make that house into a home. So the same way, the buildings are finished at St. Jude's. Right now, the keys have been handed over to the Ministry of Health. So gradually, you will see different health departments moving into the hospital. So eventually, those buildings will now become the full-fledged hospital when all the departments have moved in. So that is what's going on, the commissioning of the hospital, where the different health departments are moving into the buildings. Is that so hard to understand? Is that so hard to understand? But yet still, look I do, you pass a ponsa. So don't let them fool you, brothers and sisters. Stay the course. Keep your eyes on the prize. Come December the 1st, one choice and one choice alone. Re-elect Honorable Richard Frederick and ensure that we keep the Labour Party in power for 5 years and 5 more years to come, my brothers and sisters. That's the choice we have. That is the choice we have. And I will end tonight. I will end tonight by giving you a phrase. By giving you a phrase my granduncle taught me. And Kokma and all my brethren know of Uncle Boy. My old uncle, Uncle Boy. And Uncle Boy always said to me, Aaron, pa kite mi lat lak wenou. Vie bouik li a pa bon, pas Bukate. So we will never exchange Philip J. Pierre for Alan Chasney. I say never, 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 my brother. Good night and thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Aaron. People of Rosehill, Aaron is one of you. And after listening to that powerful speech, you have to get up and go out to the polls on the 1st of December. You have to go out and ensure, keep Philip Pierre in office, keep Philip Pierre in the Parliament of St. Lucia, keep Philip Pierre as leader of this country, keep Philip Pierre as the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, re-elect Richard Frederick along with him, and we move it for another 5 years very smoothly. As we move on, ladies and gentlemen, it is getting late. We have no other speakers. And so we are left with no choice than to bring you your representative. One who started with you in 2006. He was a minister of government in 2006. You re-elected him twice. You elected him twice in 2006 and re-elected him in 2011. In 2021, when he came back, you did not hesitate to give him that support. And he showed you that he was here for you. He did for you what he promised to do. Even if he didn't do all, he did for you the majority of it. I say to you, re-elect him now in 2025. Give him that opportunity to come back for another 5 years and finish what he has started. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Honorable Richard Frederick, your representative.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Like Freddy, man of the people. I am ready, like Freddy. Don't tell me what to step in Richard's shoes. Whatever he promised that he does do. We love our R.E.P. Richard Semetio, Richard Semetio, Cafuteo, Tikwa, Tikwa, Tikwa. Richard Semetio, Richard Semetio, Cateweo, Tikwa, Tikwa, Tikwa. We're ready, we're ready, we're ready, we're ready.
Residents of Rosehill and Castries Central, are you there? I know it's late, I can't feed you all, you all sounding a little hungry. Are you there? What do you say? Wait, say it together. What do you say? Yes, man, and I can't wait. I cannot wait for December 1st. I really cannot wait. Yeah, folks, I'm just coming from Babuno, where I had to speak on Brother John Paul's platform and to give the Babuno people and by extension St. Lucians every reason why we should keep this government in office. Folks, the record of the performance of this government is clear. Very clear. And I have a slogan: this government has taken care of everyone from the womb to the tomb, from conception to termination. And whatever stage of one life he or she may find himself or herself, the government has a policy in place that would have benefited you. There is absolutely no doubt about that. And I'll take you down, before I talk about Castries Central, the policies of this government that have redounded to the benefit of each and every St. Lucian in this country. So right now, we have free care for pregnant women from the womb. They give birth free early childhood education. And I'm sure
some of the members, some of those persons vying for a seat for the United Workers' Party, they would need that free early childhood education. Some of them need it. You live there, you go to primary school, secondary school, number of programs. Free laptop, 4 CXCs, and next term, we are going to make 6 CXCs payable by the government of St. Lucia for every child of this country. And I tell you, a lot of us, a lot of St. Lucians, we are a bright people because we have the most Nobel laureates per capita in the world. We are not dumb, we are not stupid, but a lot of us may have had the foundation on which a proper education could have been built. But it is because our family lack land. It is because we lack the money. It is because we lack the resources. Our ability could not have been capitalized upon. And here you have a government. Here you have a government. By the time you write 6 CXCs, once you pass all of them, that is the entry requirement to any university in the world. So the government is preparing you for post-education. And so 6 CXCs, 6 of them is a tremendous financial burden. Think of the mother who would have had to pay for 2 or 3 children, 6 CXCs each. Today, under the astute leadership of Philip Joseph Pierre, that is now possible. Give PJP a round of applause. And we move from there. Facilities fees. Each and every student in this country have to pay facilities fees. Today, the government is not asking you whether you are flabbo, not asking you whether you are labor, not asking you your political orientations, but the government pays facility fees for each and every student in this country. Another round of applause. And that is the emphasis, because there is an old saying, to get us as black people out of the doldrums of poverty is to educate us. And education is the key. The last administration never wanted that. That is why we were supposed to have had a university right here in this country. And when the last administration squandered the opportunity, the University of the West Indies left here and established it in Antigua. We are missing out. We have missed out. But when you have a man who himself, his qualifications are questionable, he does not want to see you rise. He will never see you rise. He don't want you to rise. And so they left there. And if the economy is doing so well without a university, fallacious if the last administration under the last prime minister had embraced that opportunity. In Barbados, when I went to university, all houses, each and every one within about 5 square miles of the university have an apartments attached, detached, under, on top, somewhere. Each and every house owner have apartments to rent for students of the university. And those were opportunities that went a-begging. Our supermarkets, our taxi drivers, our retailers, our all of those who do hair, the barbers, everyone stood to benefit. But this man squandered the opportunity. And here we are again. We have come back and introduced the policy of 1 university graduate per household. In the last 5 years, 4.5 years, this government has granted more scholarships to St. Lucians than between 2011 and 2021. We have granted more scholarships. Ask yourselves, which government is really for the people? And those are the policies that we have implemented. And like I say, it's from the womb to the tomb. You retire today. The government felt it was an insult to have been paying a retiree $150 a month. Today, that amount has increased in some instances by 300%. Multiply what they got by 4, and that's what they are now paying. And that is because we care. And since we got into government, every year, every Christmas, each and every pensioner gets an extra $600 to recognize their contribution to this country. That is a government that cares. That is the government that cares. And you know what? They are intricately or intimately involved in the tourism sector. And so minimum wage was not something they wanted to touch at all. They would not touch it because it would have reduced the profits of hoteliers like themselves. They would not touch it. They would prefer paying our women $30 and $35 a day rather than the minimum wage as it stands now. Because they felt we would be digging into their pockets, their profits. And you know, the thing is with those guys, they rely on no data. They just do things out of the box. And I heard Estefan say today that when he was in the cabinet of this man, he just thought of something and implemented it right away. And after the minimum wage was implemented, the man going around and say, how much you think the minimum wage should be? And asking people. But you see, it takes a dumb man to do that. Because increasing the minimum wage has ramifications for your labor force. It has ramifications for your chamber of commerce. It has ramifications for everything going around. And if you raise the minimum wage too high, you could actually cause the employers to dismiss our people. So you have to rely on data. You have to rely on consultants. You have to rely on studies and a formula that will strike a balance as to everybody retaining the job whilst getting a greater pay. But the man knows nothing about that. He does not know anything about that. The man believes, okay, I'll make the minimum wage $2,000 and that's it. Well, I'll tell you, had he done that, had he that bluff pass, probably our unemployment rate would have been the highest in the world. But today, the unemployment rate in this country is at its lowest it has ever been. Again, give the Philip J. Pierre administration a round of applause. The lowest it has ever been. And that did not happen overnight. It happened by thinking out good policies that redound to the benefit of our people. So right now, you have the youth economy. Young people, and I could tell you this, in the next 10 years, I already know one who's rising so fast. In the next 10 years, this country would have a cadre of millionaires that started off with a grant from the youth economy. We will have that. And they would be proud that the youth economy instituted by the Philip J. Pierre administration was the foundation on which they leaned. They built to be where they are today. And so, folks, that is a government that cares. That is a government that cares. So you have the youth economy. You have over thousands of young people who got grants, free money. I know one personally in my constituency who now employs 15 young men. He employs 15 young men. He started with a grant from the youth economy. Yes,
He's growing and growing rapidly. Then we have the medium to small businesses assistance. We have the tourism grant. All of those things impact so positively that if you don't want to work now, say uki pavli. In fact, the country is doing so well. Go and look at the statistics of the Chamber of Commerce. And that is how you know how a government is doing. The Chamber of Commerce is pleased with the performance of the government because the business people are telling you they have never made so much profit. Never. Never. NIC put out its numbers and said, I don't know if they have not put out numbers for 2025, but they said that 2024 was the year they collected the most money in the history of NIC collections. What does that tell you? It speaks to employment being sky high. But, you know, that is the thing. So whilst NIC is collecting, you have a man. You have a man who takes that same money and gives it to a foreigner to buy our land, Cabot. Folks, it's disheartening. It is disheartening because I don't understand. Over 300 acres of land. NIC was going to buy that land on its own volition to do a development for the people of this country. They had already started the valuation of the property. And then Cabot came along. Cabot came along. And Anthony Isaac, who was chairman then, admitted that Chasney gave instructions that NIC no longer buy the land, but take that same money you are going to buy the land and lend it to Cabot to buy the land. You know, folks, this is disheartening. It is disheartening to tell me, had NIC have that land, a St. Lucian, the average St. Lucian can buy a square foot of land there. You said no. Give the money to Cabot, lend it to them, and they buy the land. And today you probably need a visa to go to Cabot. Taking pensioners' money, taking contributions of the hard workers of this country. And I don't mind if it was a local company. I don't mind if they had lent the money to a local company, because by virtue of being a local company, the returns would have been invested in this economy. But no, took our pensioners' money, took our contributions, gave it to a foreigner that came from where he came from. And after he sold 2 lots, he paid off the loan. And today, Cabot is like a place, like I said, we need a visa to go there. If this man ever loved us as a people, he would not do that to us. He would never do that to us. But again, when he can openly say, I don't know what it is to put people first. He said so overtly, but trust me, he knows what it is to put foreigners first. And then look at the situation with the Dahem Mall. You know, the mall looks beautiful. It does. It looks beautiful. But the mall belongs to the government and people of this country. And after we had spent a lot of money on that mall, we were paying over $200,000 a month in interest alone. Evaluation was done on the mall just before it was sold. Skinny did the valuation, Mr. St. Clair. And he valued it about $60 million. Chasney sold the mall, being as heartless as he is, for $5 million US, equivalent to $13.5 million, So Heritage is a public asset owned by the government and people. He sold it for less than quarter of the price, of the value rather. Less than a quarter of the value. And on top of that, he tied our hands for 16 and a half years that we are bound to rent the place at over $1 million a month. You know, those things are pure wickedness. He does not care about us. It's as though you have your home. Your home is valued $10,000. You give it to somebody for $2,500, and then you go and rent it for 16 years. And after you finish renting, you pay over $100,000 in rent for a property that was yours. But you know, July 26, 2021, the Almighty Father said, Alan Chasney, you must let my people go. And so he called Chasney to be given a bad defeat at the polls. And the mall is not the only thing. How on earth you could take 1,000 acres of land in the south, 1,000 acres, and today I heard Estefan say Richard Frederick was right all along. But Richard Frederick knew about it even before us in cabinet. Because he said it was a two-man government, Chasney and Guy Joseph. 1,000 acres of land at $1 an acre for 99 years. And a St. Lucian would not even get a square foot of land for $1. This is heartlessness. This is heartlessness. You telling me there are so many St. Lucian businessmen and women who yearn for opportunities. You will bring Ojo Labs from wherever. Spend $5 million to refurbish a building for them and then pay all their utilities and their monthly salary. And no tax for them. You know, folks, y'all understood why the country was bleeding on the Shasti. Y'all understood why we should never ever make that man prime minister again. And today, the same man who call you all jackasses, the same man who call you all mendicants or beggars, the same man who call you all dogs, the same man who call you all monkeys, the worst term a white man can use to describe a black brother, called us monkeys, is that very man who wants the monkeys to vote for him to make him prime minister again. Tell him never, never, never. No, we are not as foolish as you believe we are. We are wise, Shasti. And those 43%ers, they have gone long ago. Every St. Lucian now, if you have one person who cannot go on the internet, their brother, their sister, their child, their mother can go and tell them what's going on. So don't try and fool people again. We are beyond that. We have passed that stage where you believe your Kule YII would be the sole criterion to propel you back into office. No! I say no! And I was even surprised. I was surprised that in 2025, I don't know again if it's because of a Kule YII, I heard Marcella saying it had to take a white man to be the best prime minister of St. Lucia. She said that. And folks, quite honestly, I was taken aback in 2025. When you cannot compare Chasney with Philip J. Pierre at all. Chasney cannot come in Philip J. Pierre's toes in terms of economic policies and driving this country forward and stabilizing the economy. There is absolutely no comparison. And I want to say this. I want to be as unequivocal as I possibly can. If Philip Joseph Pierre served this country in the capacity of prime minister for the same amount of time that Sir John George Melvin Compton did, who was one of our best, if Philip J. Pierre ever serves anything close to that, he will not only be the father of the nation, he will be the godfather and the grandfather of the nation, based on how he's going. Because this man has done well. And I am proud to be serving in this cabinet. I am proud to be in a cabinet when our people can call on us and we respond almost immediately. And so, I'm sure, if not all, 99% of the people in Rosehill have benefited in one way or the government, one way or the other, directly or indirectly, from policies rolled out by the government of St. Lucia. Free laptop, housing assistance, educational supply, vouchers, pensioners, you name it, each and every person, either your mother, your father, your child, yourself, everybody in every family in this country has benefited one way or the other under the policies rolled out by this government. So when you are voting, you need to vote with a conscience. Don't come, let them tell you, brouhaha, brouhaha. You know, there is an old one. It's not Baba Black Sheep. It's have you any wool. And we don't just talk. We talk the talk and walk the walk. And so, let me come to Central in a bit. You know, even whilst Coco was alive, one day I met Coco and I'm talking, so he recognized my voice because we know Coco couldn't see. And Coco told me before he died, Kimunkila, Mr. Frederick. I said, we Coco. Anyway, that's all. Yo, di mo show he, Castries tell me, tout pas tout mo fouye bateau, moi ou yo di mo fon bay la. So he don't know where to pass. So when you hear persons saying, I have done nothing, it's out of shame. Because I'll tell you something. Recognize a man's strength and know you're going against a strong man rather than you say he's weak and he comes with strength that could decimate you. How you do politics? You don't state what is obviously wrong. You don't say I've not done anything in Central. Yet you have a meeting under the Monday Nobel shelter. I built it. You have a thing in the HRDC in Boapatat. I built it. You have a meeting on the New Village Court. I built it. As though if I didn't do anything, you'd have nowhere to do a meeting. But I didn't do anything. You understand? I did not do anything. Folks, what I've done in Central, all of you can see. All of you can see. And the turnout of the hundreds here tonight is indicative that you are satisfied with my performance. And it is with your help I have started. And together we will continue. Because whilst I get the praises for the things I do, or the things that are done, it is most times the idea of the residents of the area. Mr. Minister, we need this done there. We need that done there. We need this done there. And I execute. So I get the praises. But it is because I am working with you. It's because I'm working with you. And when you hear me speak in Parliament, I may sound brilliant, I may sound eloquent, I may sound like I have all the ideas, but rest assured, It is because I go around and I speak to the ordinary men and women. I feel their pain. I hear their plight, and I use Parliament to vent for them. That is how I do it. That is how I do it. And I specifically have a note phone. I have a phone that I could actually take out and write on it. And I take my notes. So when I compile them properly. So folks, in Castries Central, if I go through the projects I've executed, it will be like how they call it, a death announcement. Too numerous to mention. From, the gardens. I build the gardens, new court, everything, international tennis, lights, chairs, sitting chairs. And when I left in 2011, I left mainstream government. When I came back in 2021, I literally cried. I could not believe, having refurbished the gardens like that, it would have been left to dilapidate. Even the seating steel chairs were taken. The lights no longer functional. The place where I built, I had changing rooms and toilets and everything. Not even windows in the toilets that were there. And I could tell you that I've spent over $1 million there. The gardens is back. It's back where I left it. Better. Okay? Serenity Park. I did it. They let it run down. God sent me back. God sent me back not only to refurbish Serenity Park, but to also add an amphitheater, changing rooms, and other concessionary booths. Right now, Serenity Park, they have all kinds of performances there, but I'll give you a joke. One man was demonstrating against the building of the amphitheater. And one day I got a call from City Council. The man wants tents. I say, no, don't give him the tents, but tell him the minister say he can perform at Serenity Park for free. That's how we do it. Let them realize that what you are combating progress. You are an enemy of progress, but we shall not permit your enmity to stop us from doing what we have to do. And I don't own Serenity Park personally. It was built for everybody, including him. And so, folks, we come to Rosehill, where Coco I saw pass there a while ago. He go down the road. All steps you could see in Rosehill were built by me and given to the people of Rosehill to do the work. That road, not too long ago, I had C.O. Williams to repave it. It was as holy as you can, like a basket. Loads of hole. When Kendall came to me, Kendall, boy, bossman, fix the road. Without hesitation, the road was done. That center there, I was out. And again, run down like hell, run down. Boss, fix the center. And we converged upon the center. When we were through, Coco looked at me and Coco said, Bossman, you made a statement in Rosehill. I said I make a statement everywhere I go. And in every nook and cranny of the constituency that I represent. And whilst they were doing it, another one said, boss, the footpath to go to the back, that in one mess. Go and walk on it now, and you will see how I have improved the quality of life of the people. That is what you do when you represent people. That is what you do. And simplicity, that being on which you rest. That being on which you rest now. So I told the guys, make sure the bin looks nice and look good. And I built several of them all over the place. I gave them the colors. Boy, it has some yellow in it. Boy, tell me, boss man, you see that yellow thing you're talking about in Rosehill? The people will not want that. Shana, I see you there. And I'm just telling you the simple things.
Those dustbins you see there, you go Mondido, you go Banadil, everywhere you go, I build them to prevent just the kind of spread of garbage all over the place that is both unsightly and unhealthy. And, you know, like I said, there is nowhere in the constituency, nowhere that I will stand and 100 feet away, there is not something I've done. That's the power of good representation. Anywhere I go, go in Wilton's yard. I built a new court there for them. And when you go down, they have all kind of things inside of it. Trying to uplift the standard of living of the people whom I represent. So, you know, folks, the time to mark my report card comes on December 1st. That is the time when you will tell me whether I pass or I fail. But I do believe with that kind of attendance, there is no way you will fail me. There is no way you will fail me. There is no way you will fail me. You will give me a pass mark. You will give me a pass mark. When we live here, any of you just drive up Mondido. Just drive up Mondido. You will see. I looked at the walls some time ago. I looked at an old bus shelter they had there. I say, no, I need this rejuvenated. I had the guys in the area pressure wash the walls, paint them in white, and redo the bus shelter so there is somewhere they could shelter if it's raining. And then after we cleared there and excavated all the bush, I saw it was dangerous. Mark is here. We immediately built railings on top and the place is looking good. That is how I work. I went to Boapatat a couple Saturdays ago as well. When I saw the state of Boapatat, I said no. I had pressure washing galore, painting galore. And today, if you go to Boapatat, as I say, if your chicken fall down, you can pick it up and eat it. Oh yes. You know, so many things, I can't remember all. So many things. I built a bin, and it's not even in my constituency. I built a bin on Steve's side of the constituency, but we cannot bother about that because it affects the quality of life of everybody. The rubbish was going onto the road, and I said, Steve, I'm doing something for you, and I did it. Today, the place looks nice and clean. I also built a bus shelter on his side of the road. Valdo, you there? A bus shelter on his side of the road. I don't care whether it's in my constituency or not, but at least I'll give people somewhere to shelter in the event they're waiting for bus. Just like I did at the end of the Mondido bus stand on the chaussee. It was that day when I saw the lady with two children, one in her arm and dragging the other one, trying to shelter rain. I immediately on a Sunday called 3 or 4 of my guys, and today they could shelter rain by the Mondido bus shelter if it rains whilst they're waiting bus. That is how you represent people, folks. And I want to make a promise tonight. I want to make a promise. The Mondido Road. I just finished the La Panse Road. Those of you who drive there, it's carpet from the junction with Chaussee to reach the Bellevue Hotel. And I will tell you, I will do the Mondido Road as soon as I assume office again. I will. I will. So, folks, it is up to you. But whatever I do with you. Whatever I do for you. We are working together. I can never execute on my own. I need partnership, and I've found partnership in the residents of Castries Central. So I want to thank you. I want to thank you. December 1st is my day of reckoning. December 1st is the day when you will say you have failed me or you give me a pass mark.
But I do know, I am confident that I have delivered enough. I have delivered enough. I have delivered enough for you to pass me and pass me in flying colors. And so, folks, please come out in your numbers. On December 1st, come out in your numbers. Come and do what you have to do. The country is on the right trajectory. A vote for anybody apart from one who is following Philip Joseph Pierre is a vote against the country. It's against a vote against progress. It's a vote for the enemies of progress. And so I ask you to come out. Come out in large numbers. Exercise your franchise and come give the hand the vote. Because the old adage is, you never buy the hand that feed you. And on the night of December 1st, there will be 2 records in Castries Central. This is the 5th time I'm knocking on your door. Have I disappointed you? Have I disappointed you? So I'll be knocking, and here comes Coco, who told me I did magic in ROSEHILL. Yes, I'm pleased, Coco. And Coco has assured me, boss, this time around, you have my support. Give Coco a round of applause. You see, when people see progress, to vote against progress is a vote against your own conscience and your country. You can't afford to do that. You don't compromise your vote. You don't weaponize your vote. You don't ask people to pay you to vote, because when people pay you to vote, they finish if you the day they pay you. I shall always owe the people of Castries Central once I'm in office. So I will not pay you with $100 or $200, but I shall pay you with proper representation. And so, folks, come the night of December 1st, next week, Monday, about this time, some will be smiling, some will be crying. One would have won 5 times. One, Mr. No, the Chinese No Wing would have lost 3 times. No Wing. And so, they will not like the results. But we will tell them, it is not us, we that ask you to do it. You chose to do it. So whatever result you get, whether you like it or not, put it in your pipe and... Ladies and gentlemen, good night.
One time I promised that that's true. Read about R.E.P.
Ladies and gentlemen of ROSEHILL, I thank you for listening to us tonight. I thank you for going out to the polls on the 1st of December. Yeah, I know. For going out to the polls on the 1st of December and supporting Richard Frederick. We're re-electing Richard Frederick. Tomorrow evening, we leave the Castries constituency office at 6 o'clock, and we go through the constituency for a small whistle stop, heading to the SAB at VG for the launch of the manifesto. See all of you here. Ladies and gentlemen, I bid you good night once again. See you on the 1st of December.
Remember, Castries Central, we are independent labor.
Hi, I'm Camilla, and you're watching We TV. Your TV, your way.
This is Mega B, and of course, you're looking it down to We TV on your Flowbox channel 125. We TV, your way.
Hi, my name is Mobilizing, and you're watching WeTV, your TV, your way.
Hi, my name is Melissa, and you are watching WeTV, your TV, your way.
From 2021, this country has seen progress. We've seen 4 steady years of economic growth. We've seen a return of the laptop program. We've seen the implementation of the minimum wage. We've seen the construction of the Northern Divisional Police Headquarters. We've seen the construction of the Miku Jetty. We've seen a lot of leaps and bounds taken in the Ministry of Agriculture. We've seen facilities fees being paid for every student attending secondary school. We've seen a return of the subvention to National Trust. We've seen a return of the distress fund. We've seen a return of the police vote. We've seen so many vehicles unparalleled in nature being given to the police